Hey, good morning. This is Brad Zockel. I'm here at Grace Christian Academy here in Knoxville, Tennessee, USA. And you see Grace Christian Academy here at 6:50 in the morning. It's a beautiful building. It's very nice, but it's empty. It is, in a sense, desolate. Matthew chapter 23, we read that Christ is very, very burdened by the fact that the leaders will not accept him as Messiah. And there's a lot of opposition to him. And they are very proud of their religious ways, and they're proud of their religious buildings and all of the structure. And he says a very, very telling thing in verse 38. He says, "Behold, your house is left unto you desolate," eremos, which means empty, wilderness-like, desert-like. It's empty. Now think about this now as you look around here. Everything here is nice, it's structured, it's clean, but it's empty. There's nothing here. We don't have anything here to tell us of the strength of what can be taught today, or what we can learn, or the fellowships, or the joy, or anything. So it's pretty nice, but it's empty. Jesus is telling the leaders the same thing. Oh, you may have a very nice system, but it's empty. I mean, it's okay to look at, but it's empty. And as I start reading in Matthew 23, 24, 25, which I suggest you might want to do, I want you to think about this in this holiday season. Do we have eremos? Do we have an empty holiday coming? We have a tree. We have our Christmas cantata. We have our gifts, our wrapping paper, and a really big schedule. But do we have Christ within to fill, or do we have an empty holiday? And look, we're religious, right? We're spiritual, but just like this building, everything looks in order, but there's no life inside. This is eremos. This is empty. This is desolate right now. And is that your faith right now? Let's get off the hypocritical bandwagon here. Let's get away from the emptiness of the social Christianity. Let's go back to Jesus. Let's find Jesus in this time. Let's share Jesus in this time. And you say, okay, Brad, you keep talking about not letting Jesus go. Where should we go? What would you suggest? I'm going to challenge you. If you're having a Bible reading right now, if you're not, then, in either way, this might be a passage. John chapter 10. Let's take a time and read John chapter 10. And you can key it around the home base verse in which Jesus says, I'm going to give you life, and I'm going to give it to you more abundantly. It's one thing about having life, but having it super-filled, joyous, loving, extra. And I want you to think about that. Okay? Because there's one thing. Let me tell you something. It's one thing for me to be a teacher and get a paycheck and go through the motions and do the teaching. But man, it's so much more than that. I get to talk with the students. I get to counsel with them. I get to joke with them. We have challenges and games and all kinds of activities, and we share and we pray together and we learn together. It's so much more than just saying, I have a job. I have a ministry, I have friendships, I have joy. It's teaching. This is more than a job. It's a job, an abundant job. And that's the way I find that I want to find my Jesus. Is more than just a name and a fire escape from hell. I want life abundantly, and I know you do too. So I'm going to challenge you. John chapter 10. Let's not be eremos, be desolate. Pretty, but empty. Thanks so much. This is Brad at Grace Christian Academy, and I will talk with you tomorrow.